It has been quite a while since I've done a Final Fantasy. Haven't had to worry too much about camera angle. I don't really do the camera during Dying Light because I don't know precisely where I should put it on the screen because I don't want to cover up anything, but like there's a chat box right there that's just itching to be covered up, so. Alright, we're going to use the storyline to level up Dragoon, basically, and, you know, do the storyline. Once I hit 60 with Dragoon, I will then do the 60 Dragoon quest and see what that's all about. And I think I'm totally caught up with White Mage. I guess I can check it super quick. So Paladin is caught up. White Mage caught up. Red Mage has quests to do and is level 58. So once I get 60 Dragoon, I will switch to Red Mage on the story quests. Not that any of it really matters, but I could just do like a dungeon on Dragoon and probably that would get me there. But we teleported to Mordona. Alian, Riol, Alphinaud are here inside our sanctuary, ready to fly. I must speak of future plans with the remaining Braves. Any information we uncover on the missing scions will need to be shared with our allies across the realm, specifically Urianger in the Waking Sands and Tataru in Ishgard. While we are organizing our various channels of communication, I would ask that you call upon Master Garland at the Manufactory. I will join you in Ishgard as soon as I am able. Bud, we could have just done that via Link Pearl, because I'm just wasting my gosh dang. We'll use Return to go back to Ishgard and hope that the next time I need to go to Ishgard is, like, I think it's 15 minutes. Yeah. So more than 15 minutes would be preferable. I do feel a little bit bad. I started to neglect Ninja because I got Dancer, and Dancer's just so much easier. But left on a different character. I was just thinking about it because Dancer has the run speed buff you can use, just like the Bard does. Ranged, basically, like if you're a ranged weapon attacker versus a ranged caster, ranged weapon attacker. Machinist gets it too. You're a ranged attacker. Anyway, Mercy, how in the Seven Hills do you do it? I was just about to send for you. We have but this moment completed the Manacutters' first successful test flight. A few minor adjustments and she'll be ready to go. While we see to the finishing touches, you might want to pay a visit to Fortolme Manor. A dragoon by the name of Estinien was looking for you. Oh, shoot, I gotta change my sound back. That makes more sense. Fortolme is in the pillars. Yeah, this is the last vigil. One UI. I got a Samsung update going on. It says One UI. I've never seen that before, so I have no idea what that is. Talk to the guard outside the manor. Estinien is inside. You have fulfilled your obligations to the Ul'dahs, then? Mistress Tataru has been keeping me apprised of the situation. Once I learned that these Manacutters of Master Garland's were nearing completion, I saw no reason to tarry in the mists. For the present, Nidhogg seems content to remain in the Aery, plotting his revenge. Might not this be an apt moment to unfold our plans to Sir Aymeric? I think we have kept him in the dark long enough. He walks through you. How dare he? I am a person that exists, not to be clipped through. Okay, over there. Use the teleporter to go to the Forgotten Knight. Telepoint. And then east into the congregation of our knights most heavenly. I just got hiccups for the first time in a long time. Talk to the night guard out here to get access inside. Cutscene. Pray tell me I do not do the talking.
All stands ready, Lord Commander.
Ah, the moment has come then.
Pray excuse my lateness. I paid a brief visit to the workshop to inquire about the Manacutters. The engineers assure me that they're ready.
The Aery is now but a short flight away. Yet what a long and winding path we took to reach this point. Were it not for Master Alphinaud's proposal, we never would have attempted to parley with the dragons. Though our negotiations yielded little, our expedition with Lady Isar taught us much.
You took an unimaginable risk. I could scarce believe the tale Estinien told.
Aye. 'Tis true that many of our countrymen would sooner die than join hands with the heretic's mistress. But 'twas through that most unlikely of alliances that we came to speak with Hraesvelgr.
A conversation that went rather poorly, as I recall.
In this instance, the journey was more important than the destination. Had we not slain Nidhogg's consort, Tiaman, and put the Great Worm on his guard, the Dravanians would have arrived at Ishgard's walls long ago.
Aye, that they would. Full grateful am I for every hour of respite your actions have afforded us. Thanks to you, our defenses are much improved. 'Tis but a pity they won't be enough.
Thus you believe an assault upon the Aery represents the city's best chance of survival. Is that not so, Estinien?
I am under no illusions. Nidhogg's might is legendary. But with his eye in my possession, I can stifle his strength at the source.
He has pulled out the glowing red eye of Nidhogg.
Victory will be hard won, even so. And I shall be glad indeed to have the Warrior of Light at my side.
You shall have my blade as well. There are more of these Manacutters to be had, yes?
Lord Commander, no!
How can I, a proud knight of Ishgard, stand by and do naught while an outsider risks life and limb for our homeland? I swore an oath to protect this city.
Pray leave the slaying of dragons to dragoons, Sir Knight. Your duty to command the city's defense is no less vital. Should we fail, and Nidhogg slip through our grasp, who then will hold the walls against him? Will you leave Ishgard in the hands of the Holy Sea's zealots?
There are others.
Who but you has the authority and the standing to orchestrate a city-wide defense? I do not, and neither does the Warrior of Light. That is why it is our place to fight, and yours to remain here, Lord Commander. What? You too, Master Alphinaud? By the Fury! You have shown some promise, but this adversary is far beyond your skills.
Your candor is appreciated, Sir Dragoon. I shall remain then and cheer you from afar.
Well, my friend, 'twould seem I have discouraged the last of the volunteers, and claimed the task as ours alone. But if any alive can best this worm, 'tis surely we too.
talk to Estinien right here. I have pricked Master Alphinaud's pride, I fear, but had I been less forceful, the boy would have insisted on accompanying us to the Aery. Accompanying. It's hard. It's an annoying word, to be entirely honest. Accompanying, yeah. Do not think me blind to his talent. With a few more campaigns under his belt, I have no doubt that Alphinaud will make a fine field commander. But one does not practice on an adversary such as Nidhogg. We shall be hard-pressed enough without the added worry of carrying a novice. Ready to fly is complete. It barely moved the needle on my level 59 progress. Into the Aery will also give us it'll give us the Manacutter key, which is a mount that I don't use. I don't think it looks cool. And an ether current. We have tarried long enough. Let us call upon Master Garland and take possession of the Manacutters. Manacutters. Let us take possession of the Manacutters. Manacutters. Trying to find the voice that I want to use for him, but I've already kind of just settled, as it were. Where? Oh, yeah, over here, yeah. On a deep, slow voice like this. I'm not doing anything else special for it. Manacutters. Alright, we are in the steel works. What do they call it? Sorry, Sky Steel Manufactory. Manufactory? Sid Wedge begs Estinien, mercy, old friend. The cutters are ready when you are. The finer adjustment. That's Wedge. The finer adjustments cost us a few sleepless nights, but we got there in the end. Which means you can get where you need to go. I tell you, these little beauties will tear through that wind barrier like a cement drill through cottage cheese. And that, my friends, is a Garland Ironworks guarantee. You have our thanks. Come, warrior of light, the dread worm awaits. I was listening to a podcast between Joe Rogan and the author of the Green Man series. I think his last name is Dean, and I apologize for not remembering. But sorry, we have a cutscene, sort of, just that Aery, which is a floating rocky island thing, and the Aery is now accessible. I guess it's just a duty. I should have remembered that, I suppose. And yeah, but anyway, I was listening to the podcast between the two of them, and they were talking about audiobook. I was gonna say narrator, I guess is a word for it, but audiobook voice actor people, you know. And the guy that does the audiobooks for this Grey Man author, apparently there's in one of the books there's a set of 4 Latina gals, and I think Rogan was the one listening to the audiobook, and he's like, this voice actor dude who does your audiobooks does each voice so differently and so well, you can tell which one is talking at any time. And I'm trying to do that with these videos. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna, power through this, pop over to White Mage, and do the dungeon. The Aery, I don't believe is one that I need to watch, but we'll see. I have to remember how to play this damn class. I haven't done dungeons in a while. Alright, so cutscene getting into the dungeon, the Aery. We've got the 2 Manacutters flying in. You're in one, Estinien's in the other, flying around that, floating rocky, crystal, crag-like island. And there is a big old dragon above us. And it could be Nidhogg. Opens its jaws wide and shoots a bolt of fire that barely misses us. But it does cause some concussive damage that seems to knock our Manacutter off course. And then Estinien, when he's about to be targeted by another fire blast, holds the eye out toward this dragon, and the eye flashes, and the dragon goes down. I believe that would explain why... Wicked mortals, I shall melt your flesh and turn your bones to ash. I think it's Nidhogg. Anyway, our ship seems to be going down. The wings catch at possibly the last second. Well, I guess not the last second. We're able to stabilize. And... oh, I remember this one, I think. If I remember correctly, if tanks go too fast, then it's rough. But we'll see. Alright. We've got a Dark Knight. Oh no, Warrior Tank, Monk, and I think that is the Dancer symbol. Yeah, that's a Dancer for sure. Got some circles underneath us. We just gotta keep running, basically. Why is my other guy taking damage? Okay, this guy's nice. He's only pulling a couple groups. But yeah, those were about 5 dragons, drakes, just the various kinds of dragons and drakes you can find in this game. We picked up a little guy and a runner guy. He could fly, but he's at this moment he's running. We got kind of a lizard dude and a lightning elemental. And we have some bramble patch basically obstructing our progress here. I'm gonna blind everybody with a couple holies. Yeah, we're kind of running up. They're man-made built ramps, and this boss is Ul'dah, kind of a worm-like, like WORM, one of those kind of like Chinese style dragons, long and flowing, but kind of more eel in his appearance. Electric Cahexia. I don't know what this is. We'll see what it does here in a second. I think it just electrocuted the outside of this place. So, easy to dodge. Electrocution. Just knocked us back. And then electric cachexia. I think it was the outside of the arena. Oh. Well, I thought I was standing in it. It didn't get me. Ionospheric charge is... oh. Regenerate... oh. I gave himself regen for a couple seconds. Alright, whatever, dude. Summoning like a couple little circles of electricity that were kind of seems to be random because they didn't target any of us. Pretty basic tank and spank as far as I can tell. He's down to 20%. I haven't even really seen any tank busters, like nothing that I would consider scary at all. Rangda's Cry summons something from the heavens though, so there's dragons that have been summoned, I guess. But he's dead. And the dragon dies. We slide down some like rocky terrain. somehow we survive. And now there's kind of like some web-like pathways, and a couple dragons, well, kind of fly across our path. I think that we're gonna pull this group and pull them into the next group. I tried to do a holy to get a quick stun. So we got like kind of a big old buff, like humanoid kind of dragon dude. Kind of like a swamp thing or Hulk kind of thing. Dude, stop. If you're not a tank, don't stand in front of shit. Oh shit. I think the tank is doing a good job of making sure, well, for the most part, that the monsters aren't turned toward teammates. But he is running around a lot at this point. Yeah, you know, in theory to dodge things. But yeah, we got a decently big group. I didn't really have to spend, I think he probably popped a couple cooldowns, or he's just really well geared because I didn't have to spend much of anything to keep him alive. Alright. Finally use one of my lilies for an instant heal. Really probably didn't need to. I don't use them that much at all. I really probably should. But you generate lilies as you are in combat. So right now, since combat has stopped, my lily generation has paused. But I have 2 more. It costs 1 lily to do that thing. We got Gaius Cutus, who has a big old circular AoE on him. Very, very long tail though, so easy to get out of the way of. Easy. Inflammable fumes is coated up. Well, yeah. There's some rotating kind of circles of what looks like fog, but it's flammable, so you don't want to be in it when he soon after that lights them on fire. Deafening Bellow, I think, is going to be a knockback. Nope. Just an unavoidable AoE. Heal it up with a Medica. And then Inflammable Fumes again. That's on the outside. Ashen Ouroboros is like this big old circle on the outside that will also hit those cloud patches and light them on fire. So the this is a knockback body slam, but I think the tank used his "Don't Knock Me Back, Bro" a move which I barely ever use for knockback purposes, but it is. Crippling Blow looks like it's going to be a tank buster. It did like half the dude's health, so that was pretty good. Got some more fog, which I can't tell where's the good. No, yes, gotta go to the outside. Proximity Pyre is a large, kind of central AoE, which ignited the fog. So we just have to move to the outside there. This dude's got like a kind of a swordfish kind of nose. We got a big old hulking, like a thick boy dragon, but dragon style, not humanoid style. Like, that's just the badassness of what I... Lesser Aery Dragon is what it's called. Like, that's a... Not like a chunk boy, but like a... Some dragon muscle. And then a pillar falls over and gives us access to a higher up... Basically acts as a bridge. Some more pillars fall over, but... At this point, I don't think that there's any chance of them falling on us. I don't think we could have reached that point fast enough to have that danger. Like not like another. Got a column attack. Gonna run up another column to another higher portion of this floating island. Ignoring the extra treasure coffers, because who cares? More buildings and... Because like this used to be a keep. And it's it was taken over by the dragons and now it's all falling down. I think this is the fight where, yeah. Everybody just wants to group up, okay? That's it. Just group. Just stay grouped the whole time. We'll all be happy. They don't do any kind of attacks that are like frontal cone things without any. Just stay grouped. Oh, everybody's doing good. I'm so happy. You stunned, bee. But yeah, you just kind of get flocks and flocks of dragons on us. And they all flock to kind of the middle if you stay stacked. If you don't stay stacked, they will, you know, not flock to the middle. And then up some stairs, some large stalagmite crystals, purple crystals. You got another cutscene with Nidhogg at the top. As most arenas are, a large circular arena with like this purple kind of bluish crystal as the ground and just roars at us. And here we go. Beautiful, like kind of ocean wave kind of motif to the ground here. Okay. Dragon's Eyes limiting strength. Okay, deafening blow. It should be the same as the other dragon, just gonna be a group-wide AoE unavoidable. Oh, got a large cone attack or column attack in the middle. Just dodge it. And now he's got either side of him called hot wings, so you go back to the middle to dodge those. And then what? He's at 60. Oh, he flies into the air. These are just kind of the spread out mechanic. And then he's got a central column as well. So don't be in the central column. It's always nice for your healer, just FYI, if you group up whenever you can, if the group is taking damage, so that they can just pop a group-wide AoE. The Scarlet price looks to be a tank buster. It did like 8,000. Probably should mitigate that one if you can. He only has like 11-ish thousand, 10,000. So it dropped him to a third of life, basically. He summoned his dragon buddies. 6 or 5 of them. Hopefully Holy does something, because if not, so be it. The tank isn't taking too much from him. We're all good. Oh shit, there's a column attack I had to dodge. Too busy watching, what's it called? Nidhogg's rancor is also going up slowly. It's at 38. I think that was... It's basically a check to see how quickly you can kill those dragons. But it did. It brought me to 25. It brought my fellow kind of squishies to 25. And he's back. 40% health. But yeah, unavoidable damage. And it'll do more damage the longer his dragon buddies were up. He had another kind of outside column attack. And then he had a couple other circles to avoid. And then he had the spread out mechanic on us again. And now a group up mechanic, so you run to your tank. I hate it. If you get the group up mechanic on you and you don't run to the tank, then you're dumb. You want to make the tank move as little as possible in general, so that the baddie isn't turned toward other party members. Because sometimes they can do like, oh shit, and then you got a cutscene with Estinien basically dealing a final. Well, actually, Nidhogg's still not dead, but Estinien basically like Dragoon jumped onto his head, but Nidhogg flew up and survived. We'll see what happens after we turn this in. My group is all gone. I got whatever gear there was. Yeah, sell gear eventually. So we're gonna click. Well, actually, you know what? What happens if I talk to him? I don't think you can talk, but Estinien is still just kind of standing here. On your guard. Our work here is not yet done. Okay, but yeah, I can't click on him to like actually talk to him at all. So we'll exit. After this cutscene, which I expect will be a cutscene, and then turning in the quest, we'll end the video. But you look up into the sky, Nidhogg is coming back with a vengeance. Estinien holds out the eye, which glows bright red, does that flash thing again, stuns Nidhogg, who falls to the ground hard. Did not land himself well. This eye seems to be like a cheat code. Nidhogg is furious. Rears up, comes back down with a large... Thou wouldst use mine own eye against me. Time hath done naught to dilute thy kind's depravity. But yeah, he did a big roar. I have not forgotten thee, Dragoon. Mine essence claimed thee once, and shall do so again. Estinien puts the eye away.
No worm! This ends here!
Holds out his lance. Gets in fighting stance. And you got me as your white mage, so... Nidhogg lunges, but Estinien dodges, jumps in the air, brings his lance down on the center of Nidhogg's forehead above his eyes. But Nidhogg is still able to fly, and now Estinien is only holding on by his hand. A spear in other hand. Plunges a spear into Nidhogg's head again. It's radiating with like this red kind of electricity kind of light. And I think Estinien, it looked like he was able to kind of move it over a bit to like do a cut rather than just a stab. And that seems to have felled Nidhogg, because he has just fallen, and then poofed in that way the bosses do, just exploded into black, purple nothingness. And now Estinien's armor is red and electrified. Oh, he's taken the other eye.
You gifted my people 1,000 years of suffering. Now I gift you an eternity in darkness.
But yeah, his Dragoon gear is turned red, still spiky. But he seems to have taken Nidhogg's other eye. And then we have one of those kind of clutch your chest thing. And Another crystal is brought back to glowing life. I believe it's the lightning. It is, in fact, the purple lightning crystal. So now we have earth, ice, and lightning. And we seem to have a flashback here of a coliseum, some dragoons milling about, or at least lancemen, and there's a shield and sword knight in contemplation. Oh, maybe this isn't a flashback. Maybe this is a flash forward with Estinien walking into the midst. Oh no, this isn't Estinien. Is it? No.
They are ours, Lord Eldrath. The eyes of Nidhogg.
Guess it is a flashback. Hold on. Sorry, I had my webcam on this entire time. I'm sorry. But he's got an eye in each hand.
Aye. The worm lies broken and my father is avenged. With the wellspring of his vitality thus denied him, Nidhogg shall not linger long in this world. But behold the terrible price we have paid. My sire is dead. So many brother knights slain. We traded our honor for the strength which now courses in our veins, and still we are forced to make such sacrifice.
But not in vain, my lord. Hraesvelgr is the only great worm left in Dravania, and he dares not leave his lair. With Nidhogg's eyes in your possession, who now can challenge the might of Ishgard, ascend the throne, and take your rightful place as the ruler of our people?
Nay, my friend. I must forsake the mantle of king. Though Nidhogg be defeated, his wormling horde yet darkens the skies with wings beyond counting. As one who partook of Ratatoska's strength, it shall be my penance to bear a knight's arms until death grants me leave to retire. When that day comes, no prince shall perish, but a hell's-bound hunter of dragons.
But Lord Haldreth, what then shall become of the royal line?
Think of your people, my lord. Without a king, who will the common man turn to in his hour of need? How will he find his way without your benevolent hand to guide him?
I thank you, Sir Flavian and Sir Silvertrill, for dispelling my remaining doubts. With men of such wisdom and compassion in service to the realm, 'tis plain that Ishgard has no need of a king. But if you must bow to the demands of tradition, you need look no further than yourselves for one worthy to wear the crown.
He puts on his dragoon helmet.
Fare thee well, my brother knights, my loyal friends. On these shoulders shall I bear the weight of my father's sins. With this lance shall I repay the debt accrued through our misdeeds.
And he walks off.
What cruel jest has fate played upon us? Have we seized this desperate victory only to lose a king?
So this is Silvertrell de... I can't ever pronounce this correctly. Zemail. Zemail and Fortom, as you would know, a couple of the houses.
We can but act as our lord has bid. We few who remain must divide between us the rulership of Ishgard and her people.
This is Flavien de Forton. I think there are 6 knights in total.
Not I. My oath was to Lord Haldrath and he alone. If he is not to be king, then I would hang up my shield as well.
This is just a brawny knight. He doesn't have a name.
Will you abandon us too, sir?
I would wash my hands of blood and betrayal and take up an honest trade. Mayhap I shall serve ale instead of sharpened steel.
Oh, he could be the guy that works in the frickin' bar in like the kind of seedier district, right next to the dragoon basically cathedral thing. I think that just might be who he is. Some more of the knights walk off. There are 4 remaining.
We 4 then.
Forton, Hydaelyn, Dyrendare, and Zemail. But 4 houses to rule all of Ishgard.
I might remember Zemail one of these days.
And what of the throne?
We keep it empty. Until the day a king rises once more, we must assume the role of stewards. We shall shape our nation anew with a history of our own making, and let the truth of this dark day die here, upon the battlefield.
Hydaelyn, that's her name. Okay, I couldn't remember. We're back to the present.
What ails you, friend? Are you wounded?
He's still holding the eye that he's just plucked from Nidhogg. You tell him what happened.
You have borne witness to history. To the culmination of the first battle with Nidhogg. The legend of Ishgard's founding tells that our ancestors were led to the land of Kurthus by the valiant King Thordan. In the midst of their journey, they came to a wide chasm, where they were set upon by a great worm, Nidhogg. A furious battle then ensued, with Thordan leading the van. Though the brave king was slain defending his people, his son, Haldrath, the first Azure Dragoon, fought on undaunted. And with a mighty thrust of his lance, he gouged out Nidhogg's eye, forcing the wicked creature into retreat.
He has brought out the second eye, the one he had before.
Thus, did this eldritch orb become a sacred treasure of Ishgard, lending its power to every knight deemed worthy to bear the title of Azure Dragoon. A rousing tale, is it not? Would that I could still believe it. But your vision, which we must accept as immutable truth, leaves no room for doubt, save on one point. If Haldrath took both of Nidhogg's eyes, then how came this eye to be lodged in the worm's skull?
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Took it back from Haldrath somehow? Or Haldrath gave it back? He hands the eye to you.
Beneath every answer we unearth, another question lies buried.
End of cutscene. No, it's not. Sorry. We see the Manacutters. I guess we flew in them.
'Twas a fierce battle, but one I knew we would win. Your fame is well deserved, warrior of light. Full proud am I to have fought at your side. I would fain return with all swiftness to Ishgard to inform the Lord Commander of our triumph. But we must first have words with Hraesvelgr. There are parts of this tale that the worm has kept from us, and I would know wherefore.
I still don't understand why wherefore is supposed to mean why. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But then again, wherefore art thou Romeo is why art thou Romeo. But she seems to be asking, where are you? You know? Though Nidhogg is fallen, my heart is yet heavy, and this stain of corruption pleases me not. When all has been put to rest, I must needs forge my armor anew. I think he's speaking of his armor turning red. Into the Aery is complete. We have a Manacutter key, an ether current, and the end of this video. I'll see you guys soon.